Welcome to Living United. My name is Sandra Uni. I'm the Executive Director at the United Way of the Brown County area. And as always, I always seem to be having the most wonderful guests come visit with me. And I love it when they're repeat guests. And Nicole Schmiesing is here from NUMAS Haus, and she's brought a guest. And so I bring someone familiar and someone new. So let's get started. What's happening at NUMAS Haus? My gosh, I got my bulletin, a newsletter, and went, oh my gosh, you guys are moving and shaking over there. What aren't you doing? Tell me more.
Yeah, she's been the shelter coordinator since December, or started with us in December of 2022, and so we've added more programming since then, and things are going well.
Wow, busy. Yeah. So programming, tell us, in case there's a new viewer who's not familiar with the NUMAS Haus, tell us a little bit about your mission, your vision, what you do there. Just fill us in.
Sure. So we provide emergency shelter for women and children in the Brown County area. So we reach the entire county. And we've had 162 women and children come through our program.
That's amazing.
Since inception, and that was in 2016 when the doors opened. And our success rate is still pushing it fluctuates, in between 60 and 70% where they complete our program. So the program's 90 days, and during that time, Sarah stays very, very busy.
I do. So what's
the program?
Yeah, what does it look like from a day to day?
So we work with them on when they first come in, get them settled, start having case meetings with them, just kind of talking about how things are going, what our goals are as far as, stable housing, that kind of thing. We have them do some programs. We get them set up with therapy. We have a mental health therapist that we've contracted with to so we have like 2 appointments a month with her, or 2 appointments a week with her. Wow. And so then we rotate our ladies for appointments with them, and then we have Love and Logic for parenting.
Love that program. I used that when I was a new baby teacher.
Oh, really?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
So it must be good because it's been around for a long time.
Yeah. And then we do, we help them find employment if they don't have employment when they come in. Towards the end, we help them find housing, and when they leave NUMAS Haus, we stay with them for another 2 years and do case management just to make sure that they stay moving up instead of dipping. So, yeah.
Amazing.
And then they go through Rent-Wise, so that's a landlord-tenant program, so they learn about how to be good tenants and kind of what's expected with landlords so they're successful. And the goal, of course, is that they remain in stable housing as well. And so they go through that. And then when they come into the program, they'll come in with minimal to no items. And so we treat the kids like they're our kids, the ladies like they're our family. And so they're given hygiene products. We support them with clothing. The kids get shoelaces if they need them. We look at the family dynamics, and we figure out what the kiddos need for support. So if they need additional school support, we're in contact with the schools, which has been phenomenal. We rely on our community resources a lot because we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to connect them with the community. We want to make sure they're supported, and so we rely on our community partners so much.
Which was what I was bringing.
For so much.
Yeah, which I was going to say, we have so many partner agencies, with United Way.
Yeah.
And what we're always trying to do is connect people to the appropriate resource. When we get these phone calls, who is the best person for us to tag this concern off to? But what's so beautiful about Brown County area is that we have so many great programs in place, and you all seem to have your own niche.
Yeah.
You know, and you partner off of each other and you fit, and
Yeah.
it's like this beautiful jigsaw that, you know, across the county.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From, you know, human services, economic development, just various, you know, partners within the county, and that includes, you know, law enforcement. I mean, various agencies within the county, and then of course we have a diaper program with Blessed Bottoms. We utilize Ivy House's services. We are in contact with MVAC
Yep.
constantly. We use Heartland, Bus Express. I mean, there's just so many
So
programs that
when
we
people
rely
think
on.
When people think of NUMAS House, they think of the emergency housing first
Mm-hmm.
off. But you just said Blessed Bottoms. Can they call you for just one of their programs, or is it a whole enveloping kind of thing?
So our gals will sign up, so they'll work with Sarah on signing up for Blessed Bottoms.
Okay, which
so they
isn't
can-
covered by you. That's someone else in the
No,
community.
we rely on all of our partners. They'll go to
Yeah.
Ivy House for babysitting. They have to call Heartland for bus services, but we connect them with those
And Blessed
services.
Bottoms, amazing.
Yeah, I mean, so many. We use
Yeah.
Heart to
Gosh.
Home. They move our
Yeah.
Oh,
ladies.
amazing.
Yeah.
We had a family that contacted
Yeah.
us, and I could immediately say Heart to Home.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I
they,
mean,
had,
they're-
they had furniture with that night.
Yep.
Yeah.
That night. It was
Yeah.
They
amazing.
furnish the apartments when they move into them. I mean, it's just, there's so many community partners that we rely on to help our families out, and they maybe don't know of the resource, or they already utilize them, but most often they're not aware of them. So we connect them with our community partners, because our goal is not to recreate anything that's happening in
No.
the community, you know, pro-kinship, you know, whatever it is, trying to rely on those resources to support our ladies and get them through the program and our families, and so they're successful.
That is fabulous. So about how many families average in your house at one time?
We have 3.
Okay, so
We have
there's
3
three
rooms.
households.
Yep.
3 households.
Yep.
Yep. And then Sarah's office is in the house.
Okay.
And so she's able to be there for,
Yeah.
you know, those moments of excitement where they got a interview or a job,
Yep.
or those moments of despair, and she's there to
It's a
help
neat
them.
building.
Yeah,
It's
it
a neat
really is.
building. I have been
Yeah.
in there several times. It is a
Yeah.
very neat
Yeah.
building. And I see it's all remodeled from the last time I was in there.
Yeah, there's updates
Oh, yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I took a look at it and I went, oh my gosh, look at that kitchen. I mean, last time I was there, it wasn't that nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just stunning.
And our board, I mean, our board's phenomenal. They will have, you know, maybe a 2-year-old boy that comes through, and then it's like, okay, we need 2-year-old toys. What do we have? And then they'll get donations for us, or pretty soon they'll drop off a kitchen if we have a little girl that comes by, so that the house is there for her. And if they love the toys, they take it with them. We have Sertoma that's been helping us with toys for the family, so when they come in, they get stuff,
toys.
new stuff,
And then they
something
can
to
leave
keep them
with them.
busy, and then they can leave with them. Yeah. So, but yeah, our board's phenomenal. They're the ones that approved the mental health services contract. That's been really helpful, because it's really hard with trying to figure out how to keep people in stable housing without figuring out some underlying issues or concerns, and then trying to teach.
Now, does this therapist come right to the house?
No.
Or they go to the
They
that
go to
person's
the office, yeah.
Because they have play therapy there too, so if the kiddos, we can cycle them through. But we
Yeah.
really want to get them so that they're independent. So like whether they're getting their own transportation, or we're getting volunteers, but then when they're getting ready to get out into their own house, they're able to know they have to go to this place, and a lot of it's routine and comfort.
Okay.
And so that was a decision that we made, to have them go to the building for services and
love
have
that.
that time. So, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I know I've heard it before. You guys are always so full, and you always have a waiting list. Tell me about that waiting list. I mean, how long do families typically last? Is there an average number you can give me, or?
We've had as many as, I think, 11 on there at one time, or was it? Yeah, I mean, that was
That was a lot.
a lot. It can be anywhere from 4 people to, you know, however many people are needing houses, you know, or need housing.
And I think, you know, a lot of it is priority too. So when you have a wait list that's that large, and it's fluid, so it can go, I don't think it's dipped below 4 in
I don't think so
recent
either.
months. So it's fluid, it can run from 4 to 11, 7, so whether they're couch hopping or living in their car or staying with somebody for a week but nowhere else to go after that. And so for priorities, it's really hard, and we've had some really hard conversations.
You must have had to make some.
We have to make some decisions.
hard-
It's like, okay,
hard choices.
who should stay in their car tonight? Because we
Yeah.
only have room for one of them.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, if it's a mom with children, that jumps to priority, right? And then obviously Brown County jumps to priority. So our primary focus is Brown County. If there's a kiddo that's going to school in Brown County, but they live in a neighboring county, that's similar in priority. If they have a connection to Brown County, if they've lived here and they're coming back, but most oftentimes it's Brown County residents. Yeah.
Wow. And so that's quite a mantle of responsibility that you ladies take on a daily basis.
And then the wait list changes, you know, so we'll have 1 week we had 5
Yep.
families that needed housing. And then, you know, 1 week we'll have 2 families and 5 single ladies that need housing and need that support. And so it's very fluid. Part of what the board's been looking at as of recent is hopes of expansion.
Oh,
And so
okay.
the needs there, the community is super, super supportive. Our operating budget has increased in the last year. I would say we're providing a lot more support and programming and resources to our families. We're also providing a lot of that case management that Sarah talked about, and continuing to support those families that are on that case management to make sure they continue to be successful. And so that's included, you know, gift cards to places, hygiene items, laundry stuff, something.
About how many households or families do you have on that case management list?
Right now I have 11.
Okay,
That's a lot.
that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's been an increase in that, and primarily because we're working on some pilot programming as well, because we don't have enough, you know, to stay busy.
We have too much time on our hands.
So some of the pilot program are for families that maybe are because of their waitlisted, or, you know, for whatever reason, they're unable to come through our program at that time, then Sarah's able to provide them with case management support, even if they don't come through our program. So that's something new that we're trying. It's been quite successful. She's
successful,
found
yeah.
housing for 3
3 people now? Yeah.
people just through the wait list, and they hadn't been through the program, but still
Yep.
providing them with support. We had a family, and that's really part of our expansion hopes would be, and it wouldn't be this next step of expansion, but beyond that, ideally, we'd be able to provide services to a full family. Since we just have women and children right now, that we'd be able to provide for that whole family unit. That's difficult, and then, of course, eventually, being able to support male as well. And part of that too would be if the pilot program, if they come through, even if they can't go through the house, they'd still be able to go through the case management piece of it. We can still provide them with support, connect them with resources. Sarah still has
Great.
meetings with them.
Nice.
And so that's ideally, we would have all of that, but right now we're looking at primarily expanding into the same program we have, just additional space. Really figure that program out, really,
And
really
it would,
focus
I'm
on that
hoping it would stay in the
families.
Brown County area?
Of course, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yep. Yeah, and you know, our support, we don't have, our support is donor dollars. So the community is huge in that. The businesses, individuals, churches are still extremely supportive of NUMAS House. And then grants as well. So we have a grant through the United Way. We have a couple of other grants through some of the civic clubs here in town. And then some other grants through our cities that are still within Brown County. But, you know, we're really focusing on the event. So last year we were fortunate to raise almost half of our operating income. But when you're over $200,000, that's a lot. And so we don't have, at this time, a large grant that really supports us. And so we do rely on the community and
Individual donors.
individual donors. I
Yeah.
mean, it's how we have our doors open and can provide the services we do,
That's
which
fabulous.
is pretty amazing.
It's
Yeah,
fabulous.
it is.
Well, I love your whole mission. I love your vision and where you're headed. From the United Way's point of view, we always are so happy to help you out in any way that we can.
We appreciate
And
it.
we
Yeah.
appreciate when you help us out too, you know, because knowing that when I give your number out, I know they're going to get good care. You know, and if you can't point them in the right direction, you'll just kind of go right along until we find what that person in your family needs.
Yep.
Yep.
That's fabulous. I love it. All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you so much for coming today.
Should we plug our
Thanks.
event?
Oh, your event. I was even going to say, I had something I wanted to talk to you about that event. So yeah, plug your event, the big event.
So our annual event is September 23rd. So save the date, and it's at Turner Hall, and it's going to start at 5 p.m. We've got a dinner at 6 o'clock with guest speakers. The last handful of events, we've had past residents come
Nice.
and talk about their experience, and NUMAS Haus. There's also video that 4C Studios helps us with, and we're so blessed to have him and his crew. And so they'll tell a story through the video, and then we'll have live speakers, and then we have other guest speakers. We've got a live and silent auction that's there, and then Andrea Lynn performs for us too, and so we're really looking forward to that. We've got sponsorship communications that'll be coming out to the businesses here within the next month, and so ticket information will also be there as well. And so,
And
yes,
that is save the date.
save the date.
It is September 23rd, 2023.
Yes, yes.
Very nice.
So we had a great turnout last year, and we're hoping to have the same.
We have a friend.
We have a little friend who wants to be
Yeah.
on our wait list.
He's been on my nose a couple times already.
Well,
So-
we'll try this again. Thank you. Thank you for
One more
coming.
plug.
Another plug. Oh my gosh.
So
She's got lots to plug today.
So we're also volunteer driven as far as being able to provide transportation to our moms. We have some pretty remarkable volunteers that take them to work until we can get long-term transportation figured out. It helps with our time so that we're able to spend time doing other things and not just driving our moms around, or our ladies, or taking our kiddos to Christmas concerts. Whatever it is, we do have a need for volunteers. So Sarah sends out like, hey, we need, this to be covered. If you're available, can you pick up from the shelter and take them somewhere else? We can find transportation to bring them back if there's a conflict during that time. When the families come in, we take them grocery shopping. That's something new. So right when they come in, we've got a community freezer too, and we have people in the community that supply us with hamburger and pre-made meals. So their first day there, it's like home. But anyway, so volunteers, and then we have daycare options within the house too, where they can help. They can come in. We've had some of our volunteers teach our younger moms to cook. So come in and just hang out. And a lot of it is, we'll be just sitting at the kind of the little nookie area in the kitchen, and a lot of it is they just want to talk, and they want to hear about solutions or life experiences. They want to be reassured that they're going in the right direction. So some of that mentoring time too is
Critical.
it's
Sounds
just
critical.
super important. There's opportunities for that. And then we have some great volunteers that help us with maintenance of the shelter, because there's a lot of maintenance that goes into that. We rely on a few of our board members and their businesses. So Gog Sheet Metal, Mike's Collision, they'll come in and they help us with any of our maintenance needs, and then painting, and they'll send over. We just had a crew of kids over helping remove rock from the shelter. We've got a Day of Caring coming up outside of this Day of Caring with United Way, where they're going to come out and help us with some of our landscaping. So so very volunteer focused. So if anybody's interested, they can find information on our website. They can reach out to us directly. That's a big one. And then, of course, if you'd like to receive our newsletter, they can email either Sarah or I, and they can receive it in the mail.
All right,
It's
so
kind of fun to
that
have mail.
email address would be?
Go ahead.
It's admin@numashouse.org.
And then mine's director@numashouse.org. And all of our
Excellent.
contact information is online and on Facebook, so they can check that out there. And then we just wanted to say thank you for having us.
Hey, no
Yes, thank
problem.
you.
I love having you guys. When I
So-
saw that you were on for today, I went, oh, yes, that'll be fun. It's always so fun.
And thanks for your donations.
Yes,
thank
You make
you.
a difference. It goes to something very tangible.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's local and it's wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yep.
yeah. Thank you.
And thank you for being our viewers for Living United for this episode. And again, keep watching us. And there's always something exciting happening with United Way and our program partners, and so much coming up. So continue to watch, and the Facebook pages and newspapers, and we're out there. So thank you very much.